Hello friends, and welcome back to my crafty space. My name is Crystal, and in today's video, we are going to be working on my first project using the Feeling This kit from Feed Your Craft. This kit was just released today, so if you haven't checked out my planning video, I will make sure to link that up at the eye for you so you can see what all comes in this kit to see if it's something that you might be interested in. Now, yes, my intro here is completely different because, or at least, it's voiced over because I somehow deleted it. So, it is what it is. But hey, at least we still have all the footage for the actual project this time. So, small wins. So today's project, I am working inside of a Studio Calico Traveler's Notebook. So I ordered a couple of these it actually probably was about a year ago when they were, a bunch of them were on sale because I wanted to give it a try. And then I just put them in my stash and I never used them. So I decided to pull one out and start adding some of these story projects to that album. One, so I have some different sizes to work with. I like to work in these 6x8, but I also really like to work in a 4x8 size. So I wanted to have more opportunities to add pages into a traveler's notebook as well. So that's what we're doing here. Now the story for today is about my kids completely destroying my house every day. The sentiment on the card that's got like all the messy lines on it says, "Life is sometimes messy." And I thought that was the perfect sentiment to talk about. Literally, our life is sometimes, aka most times, messy. And I have a couple of pictures that I've taken at a few different moments in time. One is one that I blew up to that 4x8 size, and it is a picture of Jonah like looking sheepish off in the background after he dumped out, 10 puzzles onto the ground and mixed them all up. It was a nightmare. And a lot of those puzzles have been passed down to us from when we were kids, my husband and I. So we weren't at the point where we're like, let's just throw it all away. Who cares? Because they're like, I don't want to call them antiques. They're not antiques because we're not that old, but they're definitely like vintage-ish, right? They're a little bit retro. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but my point is, we weren't ready to throw them away. So we did sit down and sort all of the puzzle pieces back into their puzzles. And then it was just a nightmare. So that was one of the pictures. The other picture is one from my living room. And it was during a Thursday 3. I was trying to get a picture of myself in amongst all the mess. And I ended up getting like some really awesome pictures with my kids and me that I used for that and for other projects. But I did have one of me just sitting amongst the disaster mess of the living room. And that one seemed like the perfect picture to add into this life is messy type of spread. So what I am doing is taking one of the not 3x4, it's a 6x4 cards. This one has a repeat pattern that says the struggle is part of the life. What is it? The struggle is part of, let me see if I can read it from here. Part of the something. The struggle is part of the story. That's what it says. The struggle is part of the story. Amen to that. So which speaking of struggle being part of the story, struggle also became part of my documenting story here because I totally trimmed my pieces too short. I forgot that these are 4 1/4 wide and not 4 inches wide. So I trimmed them to 4 inches and then realized that I needed another 1/4 of an inch. So originally I was going to have the card go all the way across the top of this photo, kind of acting as a mat almost, or a border up at the top. But it just wasn't working because I cut it too short. So what I did is I pulled out my 3-inch circle punch and I made it into a half circle that still had enough room to put the sticker that says tough times or tough something. And it's pointing down, which I like because then it's pointing down at the mess and it's just being like, sigh, this sucks, basically. So it worked to put the sticker right in the middle of the circle up there, and then I added a chipboard asterisk from one of my Allie Edwards chipboard collections. So that was awesome. Then I also grabbed out this little like geotag sticker here that says the worst, and I put that at the bottom pointing up to Jonah. We jokingly, it's a joke, call him the worst all the time. We're just like, Jonah, you are the worst. And sometimes we'll be like, who's the worst? And he'll go, Jojo. And we're like, yep, you got that right. Because he is mischievous to a T. Yes. So the worst little geotag thing was perfect for a picture of Jonah. Very tongue-in-cheek and just funny. So once I had all of those pieces onto the photo, I added some score tape onto the back of it. That's my favorite way to attach these pieces into the actual album. And the cool thing about Studio Calico traveler's notebooks, and it's cool, but I'm also not sure how I feel about it yet. We'll see how I feel once I get one of these albums fully filled up. But what they have in them are patterns. So some of them have a grid on one side and then a pattern on the other. Some of them have a 2-page pattern. So it takes out the need to add extra background paper inside. So I turned it to a page that had this mustard yellow, like plus signs, I think is what that pattern is. And I liked the way that the yellow matched the yellow of the size sticker. And there's also yellow inside of the messy lines card as well. So that just seemed to go really nicely. Then I'm taking those pieces that I trimmed very poorly, and I'm adding them to the top and the bottom of the left side of this page. That gives it, for me, a little bit of framing. And then I'm going to put my cards into the middle. I did go ahead and create a flip up with those. I used just regular paper in order to make the flip a little bit easier to stay down. And then when you flip it up, there's the picture, the card with the picture and a card with journaling on the underside. And then I'm just going to add a few stickers here and there. I put one in the top right at the crease, so it helps to hold that together. And then I put one on the picture of me with the giant mess that just says this sucks, which is funny. It's just kind of a funny spread because, we can totally deal with a messy house. It's not a big deal, but it's just a mess all the time. A couple more asterisk stickers on there, and that will do it. All right, friends, that finishes my spread for today. I really like this one, and I'm excited to have this little traveler's notebook as an extra space for putting some of these story projects in the traveler's notebook sizing. So I think, that will be fun. I'm glad to get this out of my stash and actually put something into it. So that feels really good as well. I hope that you guys have enjoyed seeing this spread come together. And if you have, I would love a thumbs up down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button while you're there so you can see all of the content I have coming in the future. I will be back later this week with some additional process videos, and then in a few weeks I'll have another spread using this same kit, so keep an eye out for that as well. Until then, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you all in the next video. Bye now.